Since 1974, Haynes Total Healthcare has been proudly serving the Chillicothe community and surrounding counties, providing exceptional care to over 50,000 patients every year. Whether you're seeking chiropractic care, physical therapy, or nutritional guidance, we've got you covered. From athletes to seniors and from pediatrics to geriatrics, we treat patients of all ages, helping you live pain-free, stay active, and feel your best. With a place in the top 1% of clinics nationwide, you can trust that you're in good hands. We're open 6 days a week, ready to serve your family for years to come. Haynes Total Healthcare Center, where healing happens for every stage of life. Call for an appointment today or visit us at hayneshealth.com. I'm Jeran Cox, back from my 2-week hiatus here.
Hiatus or vacation?
Well, it wasn't a vacation because I've been busy. Youth baseball, youth soccer, umpiring a little bit, just kind of been all over the place. But joined with me again is Matt Hoops and Christian Spradlin. Across from us, he's going to have some coaches lined up for us later. We got some guests in the studio getting ready to join us here soon from Zane Trace. But we've hit tournament time, Matt, and the thing that really sticks out in tournament time seems like all the small things, all the little details matter. Usually when you get down, you start advancing, you get to the districts and stuff like that, regionals. It's about pitching and, being able to maybe get a bunt down, a slap hit in softball, moving runners, having productive outs, and you're going to start seeing a lot closer games, probably more low-scoring games. But, it's tournament time. It's the fun time of the year, right? It's whoever's getting hot and whoever's doing the little things. That's usually who's going to win.
Yeah, it's exciting too, especially for the lot of our softball teams getting to go play at OU. Obviously, Adina picking up a big win the other night down there, advancing. We'll have Zane Trace in the studio today and talk about them getting to go play Ironton later this week at OU. So, exciting time. Obviously, the tournament kind of snuck up on us maybe a little quicker than we thought, but that's kind of the way it happens, the nature of the beast in the spring. It just, we've talked about it multiple times on this show about how quickly the spring season goes, trying to work around Mother Nature. And again, it looks like Mother Nature got the best of tonight in terms of a lot of baseball games around the area that were supposed to be played that weren't able to be.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing we've kind of hit on in the few times I've been here this spring is it seems like baseball and softball, those are, some of the SVC's best sports. And as I was printing out some of these tournament brackets and looking at them today, I really feel like some of our local teams have some pretty favorable draws. And we'll talk more about those later. But it's just, I remember when I was a senior in high school, Zane Trace, and had a really good basketball season, and not trying to toot my own horn or whatever. Got player of the year in basketball.
No, you guys had a really good year.
But my favorite memory from high school was being on that baseball team where we went 28-5 and we made the Final Four. Played second base, batted ninth for Ron Allen. Last batter in the lineup. But that was my favorite memory, going to the Final Four. And I think it's just one of those things that kids, if they have that experience, it's just something that, it's just a great feeling, a great memory they can lean back onto as they get older.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, anytime you can, be a small piece of a bigger picture and have success, I think that's awesome. I think that's, one of the great things about baseball, softball. There's 9 of you that have to participate and do your job to make sure that you advance. And, also with other spring sports in terms of track, I saw where some of our teams have, started that last night, and then again tonight. Some teams, and especially, I think some of them were finals. I think like the 4x800 is always a final. And I saw where I think the Waverly girls 4x8 team advanced to the regionals. So we'll start seeing more of that as the week goes on, and as the weekend comes out, then the regional track tournament will start again next week. So a lot of things going on right now with spring sports.
Absolutely. Before we take a break, so going back to track here for a second, track is expanding to 5 divisions next year. And, maybe it's something we can talk about now or we can talk about later if you want. But they're going to have this rule in place where, like, let's say if your boys are Division II and your girls are Division III or vice versa, you have that option of moving the team that's in the lower division up a division, so you're going
at
to the
same place.
Because most schools only have one track coach. So that's interesting.
That's happening right now with Unioto. Thankfully, they were on 2 different nights. Our girls ran, I think they're Division I in track, I think. and our boys are Division II.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the girls ran last night. The boys run tonight. The girls' finals are Thursday, I want to say, and the boys are either Friday or Saturday.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it works out for right now, but that's a good option to have.
Yep, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Zane Trace softball coach Morgan York join us on the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show. Welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In show by Sosa, and joining us now is Zane Trace girls softball coach Morgan York, and coach first year leading Zane Trace, and had a big sectional championship win against Huntington there about a week ago. Just talk to us a little bit about that game and how it went for you guys.
So all the girls just showed up. They did the little things like you talked about in the beginning. The energy was high. We fielded ground balls. We caught pop-ups. We caught foul balls. And the energy and the heart and effort with our team goes a long way. And it showed. We scored runs. We protected the ball when Bren was through a very good game against a very good hitting team. And good things happen when you can do all those small things.
Yeah, Coach, what was the score of that game? I mean, I feel like you guys scored
12-5.
12-5, yeah. And for you guys to hold them to 5 with the type of hitters they have, that was impressive. Do you think that it was, Bren's control in the circle that, that night that allowed your defense to maybe, sometimes you can get in the groove defensively and start making plays, and that kind of just became contagious? Is that kind of what happened?
When I talked to Derek after the game, I explained it as Bren she got a little dog in her that night, and she
That's
just,
good.
I mean, she was staring them down and going right at them, which we haven't seen a ton all season, and she wanted to win. And then the infield and outfield were the same way. And I mean, Maddie Will that you're going to see, she caught a ball in the fence. There's a picture of her face in the fence catching a foul ball, and those things are contagious. And as a pitcher, when your defense is making those kinds of plays, you get comfortable, you get in a rhythm and groove. So those were all the things happening for us.
I think the one thing too, putting up 12 runs. I've got to watch Huntington a few times this year, and they got some nice players out in the field. They got Allie Baker at shortstop, and the McCloskey girl who was all Ohio last year at third base. So sounds like your girls have a lot of confidence at the plate right now too. So looking ahead, is that tomorrow night?
Yep.
Tomorrow night you guys are facing Ironton. They come in at 19-6. Just kind of give us a little bit of a preview of maybe what they have and what you're thinking about how this game might go.
Yeah, so they have a lot of athletes, good sophomore pitcher, good velocity, good spin, good speed. At this point in the ball game, everyone's going to be good.
Yep.
So it's going to be who shows up that night, who does the small things, and scores one more run than the other team. So that's our game plan. We just have to score one more run, protect the ball, and good things will happen.
Right. I mean, and I think anytime, get into the tournament play, you just, it's not like it's a 7-game series. You just you have to beat them one game and have one more run. How excited are your girls to be able to get down to go play at OU, a place that you obviously are really familiar with? Yeah. Just to have that opportunity.
Yeah, they're really excited, and I have been preaching to them, no matter what happens, you will remember this moment. Yeah. Getting to play on a Division I college softball field and riding the bus and getting out of school early, that's what it's all about at the end of the day with high school sports. So as long as they remember the moment, enjoy it, make the most of it, I think they're going to remember it for a long time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the one thing we've kind of talked about a lot this year too is just how competitive the SVC has been, especially in softball. It seems like, different teams are beating everybody almost any given night. Talk about, how that's kind of prepared you for this moment. Because, I think earlier in the year you had a bunch of younger girls playing, but they've been competitive. They've been winning some games. And just talk about your schedule and how it's kind of prepared you for this game.
I think with our team, I still have not seen a night. Huntington was as close as we've gotten where they were at their full potential that I see in practice. So, which is exciting. If that could happen now, it's a great time for that to happen. But every single night in SVC play, the weather has been crazy. So you can't really plan for anything or practice for anything. But every night's been different, like you said. But they've shown really good growth and leadership and those kind of qualities. So every week we've gotten a little bit better at something.
I mean, huge. And you said it, you want to be playing your best at the end. And sounds like but the thing to me is, and you guys should probably be used to this, I feel like you played that Huntington game a month ago. I know it was just last week,
Yeah.
but it was too long of a gap. Was there any opportunity for you guys to maybe pick up a game or a scrimmage or anything over this?
We still had to play Uniota, so we played them Friday.
Okay, so you got that.
And then I'm friends with Jamie Binkley at Logan Elm, so we scheduled with them yesterday, and they came to our place just so we could keep playing.
Yeah, it's huge, I think, at this point to at least try to get into some type of rhythm.
Right.
Yeah, it is. And just from where I umpire, I keep getting set in these games, but they're regular season games, but like it's Ron Allen sending me all this stuff. Like I think it's like 22nd, 23rd, 24th. I'm sitting here looking, well, this isn't a tournament game, but just with the weather, there's still so many days left that you guys can play and stuff.
Well, and everything for tournament play was pushed back a week anyway, so it's already late.
Right.
So obviously you guys had to practice tonight in the rain. So how was that?
Comfortable. They're used to it.
When you go to a small school, gym space isn't really a thing.
Yep.
So our gyms are set up for graduations, and you can't practice inside. So it was a quick 1 hour notice adjustment. Hey, we're moving practice up an hour early, and we did practice in the rain for the second bit just so we could get reps.
What do you do in an outside practice in the rain? I mean, how's the girls' focus?
Honestly, it was better than I expected.
Okay.
But it was just infield, outfield reps, and then people in the cage hitting. So nothing crazy. Just
get used to it because I think tomorrow it's going to. I mean, I think if you get it in, you're going to play in some of the rain.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
and that's a good thing about playing at Ohio University is obviously their facilities are really nice, and their ability to take care of the field is probably a step up from what we can do at the high school level. You know what I mean? Like it'll stay dry until it's time to, take infield or do whatever you have to do. So, hopefully, you get a window where you can get the game in. But I would say there's a good opportunity or a good chance you're going to get wet at some point tomorrow playing.
It is what it is.
Yeah. You look at that radar. Rain Wednesday, rain Thursday, rain. Maybe not Friday. Yeah, a little bit.
It's been the entire season.
It has been. It has been. Like my daughter's birthday is coming up this weekend. We're like, well, maybe we'll have a pool party. We look, no, it's 60 degrees. Pool's not open yet.
Right.
So,
but the only thing good about that is if you do have a graduation and it's outside and it's not raining and it's 60 degrees,
feels great.
Finally, something's right for spring, I guess. But as terms of playing any type of sport in it, this has been one of the most difficult springs I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
it has. I mean, there's been nights we've gone on the bus, got there, come home.
Yeah.
Next night on the bus, got there, came home. So.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, Coach, I'm going to ask you one question here. If there's one thing that is most important for Zane Trace to win tomorrow night, what is it?
I think it's taking care of the ball and base running. Those have been the two things that have killed us in close games, and just doing the little things, catching fly balls, ground balls, throwing the ball, and good base running. Base running wins games in softball. 60 feet's not very far. Mm-hmm. So if good base running, aggressive base running, putting people in scoring position, that's what it's all about.
I agree. It's gonna be closer in the tournament, like you said, and those little tiny things are gonna matter. Your pitcher does a nice job and gets someone to pop it up in the air. That's as easy of an out as you can get. You don't have to field it. You don't have to throw it. Someone else doesn't have to catch it. You just have to catch the ball and then move on to the next batter and continue and get some of that rhythm. Hopefully that'll carry over from the Huntington game to tomorrow, and you guys can advance and keep moving.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck, Coach. Appreciate you coming on. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a duo of Zane Trace sophomores, Halen Boggs and Maddie Will, join us on the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show. welcome back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. And joining us now, we have Halen Boggs and Maddie Will, both sophomores from Zane Trace. And first of all, congratulations. Halen made first team All-SVC, and Maddie was honorable mention All-SVC, both a sophomore. So that's really impressive. So I guess the first thing that I'll ask, I'll go to Halen first, I'll come back to Maddie, is, what does it mean to you to be a first team all league selection as a sophomore? You had a phenomenal year, batting over 400 and hitting 3 home runs. Just talk about what it means to you and the work you put in to get to this point.
I mean, softball is like my main sport, so it really means a lot. I put a lot of time into softball. I do it all year round, my travel ball team, but I couldn't have done it without my team that we have this year. I really couldn't have. I had all my girls there to support me, really helped me through the season. So I think that really helped me get my confidence back, because I lost some last year because it was just a struggle of moving to a new school and having to find new friends and everything like that. So I'm really thankful for my team to help me get this opportunity to be able to even be there. So I'm really thankful for my team, and it honestly means a lot to me, a lot.
Yeah, and then over to Maddie. I mean, honorable mention All-SVC as a sophomore playing shortstop. As a sophomore playing shortstop, that's a big feat in itself. There's a lot of responsibility on you out there in the field, and you're having a really good season at the plate also. Just talk about, your season that you've had and what you've enjoyed the most about it.
In my season, I've enjoyed the friendships that I've made through the whole team. I mean, it's a great group of girls, and Coach Morgan, she's great too. But I don't know, I just think softball's a really good sport to play, and it helps you get a lot of friendships. So,
I mean, like I said before you guys got on here, it's it takes to win a softball or baseball game. It takes 9 people to do their job. And there's going to be some ups and downs as the season goes on, and I'm sure that was that way with you guys. Kind of just talk about the difference from the beginning of the year to now. Just your approach, maybe either in the field or at the plate, and how things have changed or got easier or got better for you as the seasons went along.
I think that at the beginning of the season, we were rocky. We weren't the best. We were still getting used to playing with each other, and I think now we've come to realize that we're good together. So I think it's helped with the friendships that we've made through the season.
I agree with Maddie. The beginning of the year coming in, we were kind of sketchy of having a new coach, but then once we finally met our beautiful coach, Morgan, it was great. And then she got us doing the support sisters, which I think that really helped get us connected to really get to know each other, so we can have that connection on and off the field.
Yeah, I think that was a really good thing that the 2 girls that were in here the first time talked about that. That's a really neat program, and then to see you guys come in later in the season and kind of echo that as you've went through it is I think it's a really cool thing. So have you guys? Has there been any repeat sisters, or is it all changed every single time? No repeats
I've
yet.
had some repeats.
Repeats?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
How excited are you guys to be playing at Ohio University tomorrow night?
I'm really excited. It's a big deal. I mean, like Morgan said, I ain't gonna forget it. I'm excited. It's a big.
Oh, good God.
Well, and the thing too is, and I think it speaks well for our conference, is we were guaranteed to get one team here,
right?
And you guys had to knock off Huntington in order to advance. What that was your 3rd time playing Huntington. What was the series going into that? The 2 times you'd played Huntington before, how did you guys do against them? Did you split 1-1? Did they beat you twice, or did you beat them twice?
1-1.
Okay.
Let's say our first game against them was I think we played as a team that game. Then we got to play them again, and it was kind of we had our ups and our downs. So we're going down the road, now we're going down the hill. But then this last time we just played them, our team came together. We actually felt connected. We did the small things, and I think the small things really affected the way we play.
Now the word on the street is there's a rumor going around you 2 might be the team comedians.
Listen, that was already confirmed before they sat down. I don't know how Coach kept a straight face with both of them over there. So what are some of the things that you guys do to kind of liven the mood in the dugout or on the bus or
Glitter
warming up
eye
before the
black.
game?
We do glitter eye black. Fun designs.
So me and Maddie, at the beginning of the season, nobody wore eye black. And then one day I was making a joke about something, and I popped out the eye black, and I said, "Here, Maddie, you want to try this with me?" And then from there on, we started doing it. And then we had a few games, and there was a point in time where I did my whole face in eye black, and I was covered, and it was bad. And then we had Reagan, which she's one of our captains, which you had her last time here. She started to do it, and then now that we're since we started connecting with each other, more girls started to do it, and that's kind of our thing now.
Did you say glitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, this might be a dumb question. Can you buy the eye black with the glitter in it, or you have to put the eye black on and then supply the glitter? How does that work?
We put our eye black on and then load it up with glitter.
So it's a
don't-
process. It's not
yeah.
just swipe
Yeah.
the glitter on it, you eye black it, and then
Yeah.
It's a process.
you guys do that with your Dragons Little League team?
No, I've got a couple kids that do the eye black all over the face,
Yeah.
but we don't do the glitter.
No glitter?
No.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah. So I was out a couple weeks. I think maybe the last time that we had a couple other girls here. What is the Support Sisters? I've never.
You
heard
missed
of
that one?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
not
it's
here for
good.
that.
It's
So
good.
basically, each week, at the beginning of the season when we started, you have to throw someone, and so say it's me and Maddie. So me and Maddie, we have to throw with each other. So you and that person do everything together. So if you go and hit in the cage, you're hitting with her. So you're doing the tee with her, and then at the end of practice, we all have to clean up and do stuff. So each two sisters have a certain job to do, and so some will take the bases out, rake the field, clean the dugout, clean the locker room. So just to help you get connected with that person, and then the next week after you switch and get a new one.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I mean, number one, I wish my kids would clean up like that a little bit.
Why don't you make your kids?
Well,
What would you call it?
yeah,
Something brothers.
Yeah, I don't
Bro
know.
brothers.
Bro brothers.
You guys
We'll
go down
bring
to his
that in.
Little League practice.
Yeah, we got
And
a
you
game
show 'em how it
Thursday
works.
night. Yeah, you show us how to do it. But I think the other thing too is it's good because if you two were sisters, and you're hitting off the tee or in the cage, you're probably watching each other, and maybe you can help each other out. Hey, I'm seeing this or I'm seeing that. So yeah, that's a good thing for sure. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about this year?
In general, new year, new coach. Now you're playing in Athens. Any thoughts about it? Just in general.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
coming off of last year, we may have not have had the best season, but it's coming from last year to this year, there's been this major change because we now have confidence on the field. We're all starting to love the game. We're gaining our confidence back, and now we're gonna get this memory tomorrow that you're not gonna forget. This
Right.
is not many kids get to do this.
Exactly, and I think that just from experience as I guess an older coach, enjoy it all is what I'm saying, and take all of it in and embrace it all, and you're gonna remember, once the game is over, win or lose. But once you get down there and once you step on that field, my advice would be everything in your power to win, because there's nothing better than getting to go back. You know what I'm saying? So embrace it all, be excited about it, take all the moment, take a few minutes when you get there and just look around and enjoy it and soak it all up. But then once it's time to go, make sure that you guys are doing the right things to not just be happy to be there. You know what I mean? As sophomores, you would think next 2 years, oh yeah, we'll be back here. We're only sophomores. You might not be. So take it all in, make the most of it. But once it's time to play the game, that's why you're there. You're there for that reason. So hopefully you guys will be able to do that, kind of pass that on to your teammates and be excited about it, but make it a point to try to get back, because you don't know if that opportunity is going to present itself to you again. So, I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do down there.
Absolutely. I think we just need to end right there because you just gave some great advice. I'm just telling you, soak it all in. I mean, you're not guaranteed anything, and it's a special time of the year. So appreciate you two coming on tonight and joining us, and best of luck tomorrow. When we come back, we're going to have a couple coaches lined up on the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show. back to the Haynes Total Healthcare Coaches Call-In Show by Sosa. Joining us now on the phone line, we have Piketon boys baseball coach Jonathan Teeters. Coach, you out there?
Can you hear us, Coach?
What's up?
Oh,
Hey, there he is. We got a chance to talk to you last week. So just kind of talk to us about what's happened between then and now. I know you guys were supposed to have your first round tournament game tonight, got rained out, so you'll make that up tomorrow. But just kind of talk about what's happened in this past week for the Red Streaks. Having some technical difficulties here, but
he promised to call us from a bus. Maybe he went and jumped on a bus somewhere and trying to make it happen.
he very well could have. No, they are.
You there?
There you go.
Can you hear us, Coach?
Man, we hear him sometimes.
You there?
There you go.
Yeah, we're here. Are you there?
I'm right here.
There we go. That sounds better.
Stay where you are. Quit walking around.
I got you.
No, I was just saying, we had the chance to talk to you last week, and obviously you guys are supposed to have your first round tournament game tonight. Got rained out, postponed till tomorrow. Just kind of talk about what the Red Streaks have been doing in the past week.
Just trying to get ready for Megs. I'm big on, trying to put our guys in the best position possible to be successful. Trying to learn as much as what we can about them. I think we're ready as we can be to play them. Had a really good practice yesterday. Looking forward to play today, but I guess Mother Nature had other plans.
Shocker.
Coach, is that a situation where sorry about that. Is that a situation where it, and I know it probably wasn't available, but like if your field would have been okay, could they have actually traveled to you, or was that not an option?
Yeah, so we get emailed, kind of the rules of the tournament, step-by-step procedure, and technically if our field is playable, obviously with the busing situation, they're supposed to come to us, but, we get over there and everything's fine and dandy, and then sure enough,
I figured that's
gets one batter in and it starts unleashing. So that's kind of just is what it is. But I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean,
so you guys actually got to get there before the rain hit.
Yeah. I mean, it started light rain when Zach was at the plate, and then, just kept getting heavier and heavier. And one pitch into Buddy's at bat, which he was batting 2-hole for me today. They called it, which was the right thing to do. I mean,
right.
You don't want to put kids in danger of ripping a knee, or
especially if you look at the forecast and it's going to be there for a while, and it's once it gets wet, it's over. It's there's no sense trying to delay the inevitable of calling the game and getting too far into it where it's really an unfair advantage really for both teams. So smart to just do it sooner than later, I would say.
Yeah, well, Coach Martin and I both agreed. I mean, we want to play this game in some baseball weather, not all this quagmire coming out of the sky. So.
Right. Well, let us know how you finish up in June.
Planning to.
Because this, you're not going to. I mean, it's supposed to rain again tomorrow. It looks like.
Yeah.
No, I know. I mean, we've gotten in 24 games, and I was trying to get in the 27 for my seniors, but I just don't know if it's going to happen this year. The weather's been.
I mean, it's just a shame. Like last night was absolutely perfect. And then, well, what you said, you got a good practice in. Were you guys able to play any games from last Tuesday to tonight?
Nope, we weren't. So.
No games.
Well,
I think the one thing, Coach, you talk about trying to get your 27 games in is, a lot of these teams are in that same boat. They got a lot of games left and dates left, and they're trying to pick up some non-conference games here in this week. And I think if you guys are able to, knock off Megs, I think you got basically almost a whole nother week break. So there's that option too. But you know what? Talk to us about this Megs matchup. I mean, I know you guys come in, I think you're like 6-14, but I think the record is kind of deceiving a little bit because, the SVC is really tough. They got some really tough pitchers. and
Yeah.
you know, I feel like the SVC, their track record in baseball is a little bit better than what the TVC is. So just
Yeah.
you know, talk to us a little bit about maybe the things that you do like about this matchup, and maybe one or two things that might concern you a little bit.
Well, I did miss. We did play Vinton County last week. Went over there and played them, beat them. So it was good to get in a game in between. But I mean, you know, obviously I'm biased being the SVC, but I think I told you guys last week the arms in our league this year, I feel like are just really, really tough. The guys know how to pitch. They've got good velo, good junk. So that to me is an advantage for us. I mean, when we go outside of the SVC, not to take anything away from these other quality
Right.
and the quantity of arms is just not the same.
Right.
So I think that's a big benefit for us. From what I know about Megs, I mean, their pitcher doesn't have overpowering stuff, maybe from what we've seen in the SVC. But from the little bit I got to see tonight, he's a competitor. He's going to come at you, and you know, I think it will be a tough matchup for us.
And honestly, Coach, I think too, if you would ask the other teams in around the area, they would agree. I mean, it's not like they're going to shy away from saying, "Oh, our league is, you know, the depth of the pitching is as good as the SVC." They know too. So I think from the other side of that, you know, they know going in that their guy better have their stuff, because if not, then it could be a long night for them.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I had a couple coaches at the district meeting Sunday come up to me with kind of some raised eyebrows about our seating and having to play on the road, but those things are out of our control. But you're right. The SVC does have a good reputation for baseball, and it's true. I mean, it's a good and tough league for baseball.
I think, Coach, if my memory serves me correctly, which it hasn't been doing a whole lot here recently, hoops has been all over me, but I think that I think Vinton County split with Megs this year. Do you know if that's true or not? I think they did. Not sure.
He moved. He walks around. I told him to stay still.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I said I think that Vinton County may have knocked off Megs this year at least once. Do you know if that's true?
I don't know what's
you there? Okay, I can hear you again.
Did you hear him ask about the series between Megs and Vinton County, if they split?
No, I haven't moved, so this is not on my end.
Go ahead, Jeran. Now.
I was just saying, I think that
third time.
I think that the Vinton County boys baseball team, I think they may have beat Megs once this year. So that probably gives your kids, you know, a little bit of confidence heading into that game. And it's definitely not a matchup where I think your kids have to feel like, oh, we're just out of our world right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no discredit to Megs, or you know, it's more credit to our league and the SVC. But I mean, every night when you're facing guys, you know, Elliott, Perkins, McWhorter, Free, I mean, you can just go right down the list. The arms in our league are just really, really tough, and I think it's tough for other leagues to duplicate that. And you know, I think that gives us a leg up. Going into tournament play, we're 10-14 on paper, but you know, I don't think we're a 10-14 team.
And then, Coach, on top of that, you just listed the aces. You know, for those teams, you can talk about, you know, a Pfeiffer from Southeastern, a Sanders from Union, a Oyer from Huntington.
Yeah.
You didn't mention any of the guys from Westfall. They got a lot of arms. McGill from Medina.
Yes.
Like it's just on and on and on. And I you know, when you were in here last week, obviously, and I felt like your guys felt like this. I really like your matchup, and I like your draw and your path, and I think that the conference schedule has kind of built you for this. So, you know, looking forward to hopefully you guys getting this game in and being able to move on.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited for it. We were ready to go today, but you know, didn't play for a reason, and we'll be ready to get after it tomorrow.
Have you seen like maybe a different look or anything like in some of your seniors' eyes? You know, this week, you know, as tournament time gets here, Buddy Wilson, some of those guys. Does anything seem different about them? Maybe extra focused or anything this time of the year?
Yeah, you know, it's funny you asked that. I've seen a couple, you know, out of Buddy, Wade Fowles, Zach Hanna, Mason Grayson. I mean, there's just been different ways. They all lead in different ways. Some of them verbally, some of them, you know, just leading by example. But you know, you can tell, Coach, sometimes when seniors are kind of clocked out. maybe a foot out the door, so to say, and then you can tell when a group is maybe, locked in and not wanting their season to end. And I feel like these guys, they want a tournament run. I mean, they want a chance to compete against Megs, take care of business against Megs. They want to go on and get a chance to play Lynchburg at the VA. So, we got to focus on Megs, but these guys, are ready to go and get after it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Coach, we appreciate you calling in and talking to us tonight, and wish you the best of luck. Hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I think the weather's supposed to be okay Thursday. And I think the one good thing about it is that, with these first two games being separated a little bit, you got a decent chance of having, your top pitcher available for both games. So, again, thanks for calling in. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and wish you the best of luck. And hopefully we get to talk to you again next week.
That'll be the plan. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Good luck, Coach.
See you guys.
See you. No, I think that's a pretty good matchup, pretty good draw for Piketon. I mean, you're playing, you're 10-14, and you're going against Megs at 9-13. Why they have to go on the road, I don't know.
Is it because of the maybe when they drew at the drawing, the records were a little different, possibly?
It very well could have been, but
honestly, though, too, if you would tell him, hey, we're going to go on the road to play a 9-13 Megs team out of the TVC,
take it. Yes.
Would you? You'd like that chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
And when his kids were in here last week, you could just tell that they were. I don't want to say they weren't overconfident, but they were excited for the opportunity, and hopefully they'll figure it out and come out on top.
Yep, no doubt about it. Well, joining us now, probably not too far down the road from Coach Teeters, is we've got Coach Blakeman from Piketon Softball. Coach, you out there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Coach. And, it looks like you guys have already started your tournament. You played May 13th, which was, a week ago from the night. Got a nice 11-0 win over Oak Hill. And team should be ready to go tomorrow night. You're 21-4, and you're going to face an Eastern Brown team at 15-4. So just kind of talk to us a little bit about that matchup.
Yeah, that should be a very good matchup. Like they were the 9 seed. Did do a little research on them there. They pitched the ball well. We're going to have to be on our game as any other game in the tournament there. That we're going to have to show up and play ball to get the win. They're a really good team, and I think whoever brings it there tomorrow is going to come out the winner.
Yeah, I think the one thing when I look at that matchup, I mean, obviously I like your draw. I like your team. I think you're set up to make a good tournament run. But it kind of shocked me that a team with a 15-4 record comes in at a 9 seed. Was that just a situation where when the draw came out, they didn't have as many games played, or kind of what was up with that?
Yeah, I think I can't remember what their record was at the draw. It wasn't 15-4, but it might have been 11-4. I'm not for sure, but yeah, there's some pretty good teams with some pretty good records in our district here. So it's pretty tough to get a really good seed.
Coach, is that game in Athens tomorrow?
Yes. We play at 6:00 tomorrow in Athens.
So do you guys follow
if the rain holds up?
You guys follow Zane Trace Ironton? Do they play first?
Yes. Yeah, they'll play first. I think there's the 4:00 game.
Nice.
So 2 SVC teams have an opportunity possibly to play for a district championship against each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be ideal. Yeah, for sure.
That way one SVC team will make it.
Sweet 16, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, when I look at Eastern Brown, their first game of the tournament, they win 3-2 over North Adams. Do they typically play like the low scoring game, or is that a team offensively, maybe it was just a bad night for them and they're normally scoring like 7, 8, 9 runs a game?
Yeah, I think, North Adams has a good pitcher. I mean, we faced her last year. We didn't play him this year, but we did face her, the Garrison girl, last year, and she throws pretty well. We had trouble hitting her last year. So, and then the Eastern Brown girl, she throws really good too. So I think that was just a pitcher's duel, which,
Okay.
I think that's, I know they do score some runs. I've seen some of their scores, but, the Garrison girl we had trouble hitting her last year. So,
You talked about, they pitch really well. Obviously, she probably throws a pretty good fastball. What type of other pitches you guys going to be seeing tomorrow?
Well, I think from what I heard is, she lives high in the zone there. So, we worked on some of that stuff at practice just a little while ago to get prepared for the game. So, we started to start hitting there off the tee, just to do some high tee drills, just to be prepared for high pitches, and we're hoping that maybe the umpire has a lower strike zone that doesn't have a high strike zone, and if we can get that, then we'll be in good shape.
Maybe let him pet the pet fish and get him in your corner. That speaking of the fish, Coach, still alive and kicking. You guys still feeding it?
Yeah, it's still around, but there's been some adventure with that. I'll kind of let the girls, if you guys have them in again, they can actually tell that little story. It's the Coke Butter Cheese adventure. It's been, since we talked the last time, it's been a little different. So,
oh man,
it's been through some stuff.
Jeran, Jeran wasn't in here to even get the gist of what happened with you and your girls, and that was the most entertaining we've had in a long time. That was definitely a night you didn't want to miss. But anyway, I got the full effect of it. I'm well versed in all Piketon softball traditions and chants and the train horn, and they got a pet fish, and it's a lot. They got a lot going on, and they're really good. Yeah. So, it's a fun team to be around and be a part of. I can tell you that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That was actually, this year was the first year that we introduced Coke Butter Cheese, which is the fish, and the train horn. And there's there's one more surprise coming tomorrow. So
I think I know about this one, right?
Yeah, you do.
That ain't a surprise.
We talked about it the last time.
Yeah, they threw that out to the world. Sleeves, arm tattoos.
Yeah,
we just had the Zane Trace girls in, Coach, and their big thing was eye black with glitter.
Okay.
So anything that I hear from a softball girl anymore, nothing really surprises me. So
we got to keep it fun for them.
You have to.
Oh yeah, but. Yeah, there'll be. We'll have a little different look tomorrow during the game. So,
well, hopefully it pays off for you.
Yeah, hopefully it does. We just got to come out and do what we do, and hit the ball like we have been. And I think if we do that, we'll be fine.
Coach, what's one thing you really like about this matchup before we let you go?
Well, I think we will hit well against them, and hopefully we can keep the runs down. Our pitching has been outstanding this year, and if we can just keep rolling with that, I think we'll be just fine.
Okay, that sounds good. Appreciate you taking the time to call in and talk to us, and wish you the best of luck. Hopefully tomorrow, if not. Probably get Thursday, but and then maybe we'll be talking to you next Tuesday if you're able to make it all the way out to the regionals.
That sounds good. Yep. Hopefully we'll be there. And it's been 15 years since we won the SVC League, and that team there went to the state Final Four. So hopefully we can get history to repeat itself here.
Absolutely. Who were some of the girls on that team? I'm trying to think. They're like right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of who they are.
The 2010 state team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Shella Zimmerman, which was the pitcher.
Zimmerman. Yes, I couldn't remember her name. Yep, I remember that now.
And then the shortstop was Holly Brapson.
Yep.
They were the two All Ohio players on that team, and that was actually at that time the only two All Ohio players in softball that Piketon's had.
Yeah, that'd be pretty neat if you guys were able to make it that far, and maybe those girls could talk to them about what their experience was and all that stuff. So that would be pretty
I actually
neat.
brought them in.
Oh,
I actually brought them. I brought them in to do a 15-year reunion. After one of our games, I brought them in and just recognized them and honored them and got them shirts and stuff and just told a little story about the season because I was actually there for that ride too. I was a volunteer coach at the time, so that was a fun night. Everybody enjoyed it. We had I think there was 15 players and I think there was like 3 that couldn't make it that time, but everybody else made it and all the coaches made it and they got to interact with the with my players this year. So it was a good time.
I'd love to know how that interaction went.
Yeah. You never know what my players are going to do or come up with. They are a fun group and they're enjoyable to be around.
Yeah, I guarantee you, those girls left there thinking we didn't have as much fun when we played at Piketon. They went to the Final Four.
Yeah, there's never a dull moment there with this team. I tell you that.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Great group.
Yeah, appreciate you talking to us tonight, and like I said, hopefully we get to talk to you next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
All right.
Good luck, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, like I said, you missed that Piketon group in here that night. It was lively. It was. I think Coach Miller was even taken back by it, and he coaches girls basketball, so he's been around some of that stuff.
Yes,
so, but even he was a little bit speechless. So
yes, I'm sure he was. So. Well, let's take a quick look here at some of these tournament brackets, Coach, and then we'll probably just call it an evening. Let's start out with softball first. We'll just kind of review the first 2. We talked to both of these coaches tonight. St. Trace softball tomorrow night against Ironton, OU, 4 o'clock, and that game will be followed by Piketon and Eastern Brown. So I like Piketon's chances right there. I think if St. Trace plays like they're capable, they'll have a chance too. And
I think that's all you can ask out of that young St. Trace team is just give yourself a chance. I really do like Piketon in that game, though.
I do too. In Division 5, from the SVC, you have Adina, big win last night over Megs, 12-5. Adina comes in 18-7 on the season, and they're in the district championship game. They get to face an undefeated Wheelersburg team who comes in at 23-0. So that'll be a tough matchup, but Adina's had a good season nonetheless.
Is that one also in Athens?
I believe it is. That's going to be the 23rd, which I think that's Friday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flipping over to baseball. Just got off the phone with Coach Teeters a minute ago. I like their matchup against Megs. If they're able to win that, they'll get 18-3 Lynchburg Clay. A team I really like. They've had a phenomenal season. They got knocked off by Athens, but they went down to Myrtle Beach and won all their games at Jackson.
The thing about Jackson is right now is they haven't played in forever. Yes. And I know they're trying like crazy to get games and find games, but with the weather,
it's hard.
It impacts the other teams that they could possibly play or possibly teams that they could play are also in their side of the tournament, so you can't link up and play with those guys. So they're in a tough spot right now, but I think once Jackson plays again, I'm sure it's like riding a bike. They'll pick it right back up and stay hot.
I had a chance to umpire them earlier this year, and they're
good team.
They're the real deal.
Yep.
I'll tell you, another team that I really like, their tournament draw is Unioda. Coming in 20-6 right now. They've won, I think, 10 games in a row. They face Greenfield McLean if they're able to knock those guys off, which would be Thursday. Play either Waverly or New Lexington, and that if they win that, they'd get to the district championship game. I think they got a really good draw.
I like their draw.
They got their depth of pitching. I think that's going to be a big thing for them.
So I heard you say McLean did beat Vinton County then.
11-1.
Okay,
yes.
So then that's Thursday, 2 day, right? What's today? Tuesday.
Today
Thursday,
is they'll play Thursday.
22nd.
Yeah. Man, these days are all running.
I know.
Another team I like in Division 5 boys baseball, I thought Zane Trace got a really, really good draw. They got the number 3 seed. They're going to play the winner of Minford and Rock Hill. Coach Allen, he's from Minford. That'd be a nice little reunion. And if it goes chalk on the bracket, they could be playing like an Ironton or South Point for a district championship. And South Point's lost 7 games. So I don't think Zane Trace is going to be overwhelmed by anybody they play trying to get to the regionals.
No, and Zane Trace has played obviously the SVC schedule, but they played a really good non-league schedule too and had a lot of success. So obviously I like their chances as well.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I think a sleeper for the SVC and baseball is going to be Huntington. Just looking at their draw, they got the 4 seed in Division 6. And, they're pretty solid for a D6 team. They're going to go against Chesapeake, who's 3-21. Then probably face off against Manchester, who's 12-4. Again, I think the SVC is a lot tougher.
I'm saying move the Huntsman out too, for sure.
Yep, and then the 1 seed, Reedsville Eastern. That's the TVC small division. For a district championship,
I like Huntington.
Yeah, I love that draw for the Huntsman. Love that draw. In Division 6 also, Southeastern. Again, this is another
Lots
team.
of pitching.
Yep. They were supposed to play tonight, which they probably didn't. Then if they're able to beat North Adams, who's 2-10, they won't play again until May 30th, and they're going to get Sims Valley, who's lost 10 games.
Yeah, they'll get McQuarter back, and Pfeiffer be ready to go. So
absolutely,
I like those 2 arms.
Yeah, I like that draw. And then the other team that it's kind of maybe a team to watch in Division 7 is Paint Valley. They've only won, I think, 4 or 5 games this year, but they're young, and they face some really good arms in the SVC. I know we've talked about it time and time again, but if they get going, why not?
Yep, and Coach Combs has been there before.
Yep.
In fact, he's been there forever. So he knows what it takes, and he always says that it's opposite for them. The league play prepares them for the tournament play. They know where they are, they know who they are, and they usually make some noise in the tournament. And now that it's Division 7, I think they'll make noise again.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Well, unless you have anything else, I think that's going to be it tonight.
Yeah, that's it. Unless you want to tell everyone about your big purchase over the weekend.
Well, we'll wait a couple months.
We're going to wait it out?
Yeah, we'll wait it
All
out.
right.
We'll just say Shadur Sanders has been looking pretty good.
Not good enough to... Never mind. You're going to have to trade that one in just like the other 44 of them, or however many we've had at quarterback.
We'll see. Yep. You never know.
I hope you're right, though.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
I hope you're right with this quarterback.
I'm not saying I am, but I'm still confused on that whole quarterback.
You kind of put it on the line there.
What are you going to do? Well, if you're the Browns.
Well, you're going to get rid of Kenny Pickett.
You think
he's going to go? Because I don't think he's beaten out. He's not the best veteran they have.
Yeah.
He's not.
I'm not saying he is or isn't. I think with Flacco being there in the past, his arm's not very strong. Like it got significantly weaker as the season went on. Can't throw the deep ball anymore hardly.
I'll stop you right there, though. He doesn't have to wear gloves to hold on to the football.
That's true. That is true.
Okay. So
I could see
I'm not playing a quarterback that wears 2 gloves.
I was looking at the Browns schedule after it got released the other day, and it doesn't pain me to say this. I've been a Browns fan my whole life, but I could see them easily starting 0-6 or 0-7.
I looked at the schedule. It's not.
Yes, it's not good.
It's the second toughest in the league for a reason. It is a nightmare.
It's not good. After you get past game 6 or 7, I can't remember which one it was, then I could see Sanders coming in.
Well, they have a bye there too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's in the plan.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Unless Gabriel does something, because all the talk out of Cleveland right now is that was the guy that they wanted.
Yeah.
So,
I also saw him throw an interception to a D lineman in
he's 5'8".
Yeah, I know.
Or 5'10" or whatever he is.
Yeah. So,
it's interesting, as always, in Cleveland.
It is.
So, sorry, Christian, we didn't talk about the Bengals much. We probably never will, but they don't even have their top draft pick in camp.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
It's a good thing he can't talk.
We need to have some type of side bet here. The Bengals always struggle early in the season. Week 1 showdown, Browns and Bengals. The Bengals should beat the Browns this year. Should.
It's in Cleveland.
They should have beat the Patriots last year, week 1 also.
Shoulda.
Shoulda. Look at it. He's over there losing his mind now. There we go.
Let's go. We're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Now we're on NFL talk.
All right. We'll be back next Tuesday. Hopefully we have a couple teams still playing in the districts and regionals, and get those coaches on the line. And appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And we'll see you next week about 7 o'clock.